Let's talk writing.
Hi, I'm Ryan LaBee, and I'm a zero-budget filmmaker.
I just said, yes, man, right away, anything,
Please subscribe and watch as I document the entire process of my next film.
anytime.
Everything from writing, pre-production, filming, post-production, and release.
I was just
One of my absolute favorite podcasts is the Radio Film School. And I don't mean just filmmaking podcasts. I mean podcasts across the board. In every episode, the host, Ron Dawson, ends the show with,
If the story sucks, I don't care what you shot it with or cut it on.
thank you, Ron. And what does he mean by that? There are a lot of important aspects of filmmaking. The sound has to be good. The way you shoot it, the execution across the board is super important. But if you don't have a story, who cares? Nobody's going to watch it if the story's boring or non-engaging. To me, personally, the most important aspect of a good film is the story. That is the film. Otherwise, what are you doing? Writing. It's hard. It's like pulling teeth for me to write. But after I've done it, I feel great about it. What's the old saying? I've probably butchered that, but you get the point. So what are some of the most important things to remember when writing? Well, you got to figure out what works for you. Writing isn't the same for everybody. For me, I tried the other day, I was like, I'm going to get up early and it's going to be like working out. I'm going to make myself do it, and having done it, I'll feel amazing the rest of the day. Didn't work. None of the creative juices were flowing. It just was not working. No amount of coffee could have broke the amount of, I don't want to do this I was feeling. I knew that writing wasn't going to happen, but I set a goal for myself. I would try to outline and figure out what kind of story that I wanted to tell, and I would take stock of all the available assets I had in my life to make this film. And that's another thing I discovered about myself. Outlining doesn't work for me. One of my favorite writers is Stephen King, and he's a discovery writer. He doesn't sit down with a plot or an outline. He just has a basic, either a character or a story he wants to tell, and just starts writing and discovers it as he goes along. That works better for me, but it might not work for you. Now, I like to write longhand so I don't get distracted. It's too easy for me to sit down at a computer and start Googling and looking at my Twitter and looking at my Facebook, and then I don't get anything accomplished. The shitty first draft. There's an amazing author named Anne Lamott, and she writes in her book, Bird by Bird, some instructions on writing and life. Perfectionism is the voice of the oppressor, the enemy of the people. It will keep you cramped and insane your whole life, and it is the main obstacle between you and a shitty first draft. I think perfectionism is based on the obsessive belief that if you run carefully enough, hitting each stepping stone just right, you won't have to die. The truth is that we die anyway, and a lot of people who aren't even looking at their feet are going to do a whole lot better than you and have a lot more fun while they're doing it. So how does that apply to us or to me or any other filmmaker or creative? Is that, or at least the way I interpret it, is we can't be perfectionists. Because if we are, and we start obsessing over writing the perfect story or making the perfect script, or I can't start until I have the whole thing planned out, you're only getting in your own way. You have to get that shitty first draft out. It doesn't matter what you write, as long as that you sit down and you do the work.